Okay, apparently I am live, so we're gonna do this. Um, I don't know who Al is or what his rhythm has to do with my channel, but I really wish he'd get out and push. I'm serious, man. What are the humans doing? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sasquatch Shills or Sasquatch Shills. You don't have to. Now, this is going to be a slightly different type of show than I usually do because this channel was only established like 4, 5 days ago, maybe. So there's not a whole lot of backlog here, but the backlog that's here is absolutely batshit crazy. It is unbelievably nuts. Regardless of what side of the argument you come in on, whether you think it falls under HIPAA violations or whatnot, it's just batshit. So I've got a couple of folks backstage. I'm going to go ahead and bring out. We'll have this little conversation, and then I have a word from Captain Curmudgeon that we're going to have a talk about. We got Brandy D. Hello. This is, what did you change your name to? Criminalized being a family member? What was it? Hold on.
Criminalized for being family.
Being family. There it is. I found it. It's written on my screen. I try to keep things like that handy. All right, let's do this thing right quick. Smile. Say hey. All right. Yeah, you're going to go in the intro one day. Watch that. And then we got American Justice of Texas. I keep her around mainly because she's like my security blanket or my stress animal. You know, she tells me that she'll just stroke me and love me and rub my pretty furs, and it makes me feel better. Yeah. All right. So before we get too far in here, I'm going to do this Captain Curmudgeon thing that I found. And when I looked at his channel, I was a little surprised that this was his most popular video, because I thought he had much more popular videos, but I was wrong. He does this, what was it? A visit from St. Fauci bit that was hilarious. Played it a few times, but for the moment, we're going to run with this.
If I asked you to name the deadliest school attack in American history, what would your answer be? I'm guessing you might say Columbine or Sandy Hook or Parkland or one of the ones from the last 25 years that are still seared into our collective memory, because one of the first things everybody always says after such a calamity is that it's a product of our times, of the unprecedentedly depraved age in which we live. We always think we're living in special and unique times. We're always wrong. So you probably wouldn't guess that the deadliest school attack in U.S. history happened before the lifetime of anyone currently living, except maybe Queen Elizabeth and Dick Van Dyke. You probably also wouldn't guess that there was no firearm involved, but there wasn't. Wednesday, 18 May, 1927, Bath Consolidated School, Bath Township, Pennsylvania, 11:50 a.m. A disgruntled local crank and minor government official, whose name we will not mention here because there should be no statute of limitations on refusing to give notoriety to child killers.
Agreed.
Sets off 500 pounds of dynamite in the basement of the school building, laying waste to the entire north wing, killing 2 teachers and 36 students between the ages of 7 and 14. But that wasn't all the killing that got done that day, not by a long shot. For the killer first murdered his wife back at home at his farm. Then he set the whole place on fire, and when concerned townspeople and the local fire brigade started turning up, they were confused to see the owner of the property driving the other way in his truck toward the school, apparently with a big shit-eating grin on his face. So while everybody's distracted with this farmhouse and barn being on fire, and he had tied down his horses in their stalls so to be sure they'd burn to death, just for good measure, I guess. That's when the bomb goes off at the school. The killer drives up to the building a couple minutes after the explosion. Survivors are milling around all dazed, and he calls a few men over to his truck. And he then detonates the 100-pound shrapnel bomb that he's got in the back seat, killing himself, 4 other men, and 1 additional child. 45 innocent victims in the final tally, 7 adults, 38 kids. No school attack before or since has matched that level of carnage. And he meant to level the entire building, north and south wings alike, but the other 500 pounds of dynamite he had secreted in the south wing failed to detonate. So if there's any such thing as mercy or good fortune in a story like this, then I guess there it is. When you hear about this incident, likely for the first time, you might find yourself thinking, wait, why haven't I heard of this before? Why isn't this seared into the national consciousness? Well, it was briefly, right up until the news arrived 2 days later on the 20th that Charles Lindbergh had successfully flown the Atlantic. And let's face it, when there's something momentous to celebrate, it's only human nature that people quickly turn their attention away from the horrifically senseless loss of life they were focused on 24 hours previous. Our short and preferential attention spans have existed since long before social media ever did. The point being, no matter what age you live in, no matter the contents of the prevailing culture, what they might be, there will always be monstrously evil people who commit incomprehensibly barbarous crimes. There will always be, as there always have been, sick bastards who seek to exact revenge or to gain notoriety by slaughtering the innocent. And when you hear about a guy killing his wife, burning down his own house, and then blowing up a building full of school kids, you might think, geez, this guy must have had some pretty severe grievances against somebody. So what were his grievances? Well, he was pissed off that his property taxes had gone up and that he had lost the election for town clerk. And that's it. But you know what didn't happen in the aftermath of the Bath Township disaster?
No way.
Nobody tried to use it as a weapon against their political enemies. And nobody co-opted the grief of the survivors in order to get some silly piece of legislation passed. The nation's leaders acted like civilized people. And what a concept that is. So back in the present day, let's stop giving Joe Biden a free pass for his obviously depleted mental condition, because this man really is an awful, awful, awful human being. More on that in a moment.
He has a certain turn of phrase that absolutely tickles me, and I really like sitting with him live and just talking about whatever happens to roll across.
A certain turn of phrase.
Who are we echoing?
No, I'm sorry. I got it.
Oh, you've already got it. I see. It was you. You did it this time. It was you. Yes, not me. Okay. So, Brandy, you have quite this story. How would you like to start this? Do you want to just tell it and let the video play in the background? Do you want me to play the video and mute it when we get to points that you want to talk about it, or how would you like to go about it? Because,
well, are you
it's
showing
your
the
moment
video that I'm detained in, or the video where they're meeting with?
this is your very first video. I have a little gimmick that I usually do with the first video. By the way, you're one away from 666 subscribers.
Oh no, I already took a screenshot. I hit 6.
I hear you. Anyway, this is the very first one, and I've got this gimmick that I do just because I think it's funny. It really tickles my pickle. So check this out. This is the. I haven't done this in so long. Oh my God, I don't even know if I can do it. Is it gonna work?
You know about cars? Yes, I'm a paleontologist. Oh, it's okay. There's dynamite in this bag too. I am a paleontologist. I'm a paleontologist. Paleontologists study really old stuff.
Like crackers.
Because bad movies are funny.
They are. And I have a great gem for the end of this show. After we get done with all the good gizzards of all this that we're doing, I have found a copy of Void Cat done by a previous guest and one of his buddies. So, yay. I can't wait. All right. So we've got your very first video, which is what that's about, is a whole YouTube paleontology thing. Most channels are, a little older. Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna rock this out. We're gonna drop a mute on it. So this is the first video that specifically.
Yeah, but before you start that, I should probably explain why she's called and done this.
Yes, give us the background.
Let's see if I can do this.
Set the story.
They all know that I record and document. They know I record conversations, because when they come up and talk to me, they'll be like, "Are you recording?" And I don't deny it. It'll be like, "Yep," or I'll say, "Nope, not today." So it's not like I do it all the time, but I do it when I need to, or absolutely every time I remember to, or if my mom tells me to. But on October 17, I went to go see my mom, as I do every day. and found her in her pajamas and being fed in bed. And mind you, she has severe neck injuries. So her head's like this, and she can't eat in bed without a neck brace, especially a neck brace, something to stabilize her head. That's a huge choking hazard. So I questioned everything. I'm like, why are you in bed, being fed in bed? Something happened. Like, what's going on here? You're still in your pajamas. And the aide told me that she was too busy. She didn't have time to come and get my mom dressed for the day or to get her put in her chair. And that's unacceptable, period, to ever be told that. But she promised she would take care of my mom. And then I video chatted my mom right before dinner time just to check in on her, seeing she was still in bed and still had her pajamas on. So I kind of got really ticked off. And I didn't say anything to my mom, but my mom wanted to get in her chair. She made comment of it. It was almost dinner time and they weren't answering the call late. So I called and asked the nurse to please go in there, change her clothes, and put her in her chair so she can eat dinner and be safe. The nurse lies to me and says that she's been there all day working and that my mom has been up and in her chair. Lady, I was there. The aide herself told me she didn't have time. Like, whatever your story is, that's not true. But don't lie to me. I didn't ask you to do that. And then so she's like, well, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, I want you to go in there and ask my mom what she wants to do. And I recorded the phone call just because I don't trust these people. And she said that if my mom eats in bed, she's probably positioned right. And I'm like, and you're a nurse? Like, this is making no sense. So I hung up the phone before I said things that I shouldn't say. Like, I know when to stop, and I tell them I'm hanging up. Like, I have nothing nice to say anymore. So I'll hang up. I've never been disrespectful or rude. But I'm, I guess, a nuisance because I want my mom to have the best care. She's in unfortunate circumstances, out of her control. She didn't put herself there. She didn't ask for that to happen. And
Right.
So the 18th, I get there and I wanted to meet with Sue. I've never met with her before. I usually go to the unit manager, but the unit manager was never in her office for like 3 months. So I demanded to talk to Sue, and Sue came into my mom's room. So pretty much I was letting my mom talk. I was just there. And then I told Sue that I was unhappy by the way I was spoken to and lied to, that when family calls with a concern, we shouldn't be told something and then follow up later to find out what they promised they didn't even do. And that's very rude, disrespectful, and it's disheartening to even know that these people are dependent on them for, my mom is dependent on them for absolutely every little thing. So
you see the exact circumstances she's sitting in when this video starts up. So
yeah,
I'm gonna pop over to the other format.
She doesn't move out of her bed or her
And
chair.
you can keep talking. It's just going to be muted in the background.
She's secluded in her room. So I tell, she asks me what I mean, and I meet with these employees there because I'm not trying to cause problems. I'm trying to let you redress the situation so this doesn't happen to somebody else. I want you to permanently fix these things. I shouldn't have to keep coming to you with the same things for months. So I pointed out my mom's walls were bubbling and that you could push and hear like there's water behind it. So I'm showing her, I go, I have videos of this from 3 months ago. So I start going through my phone and I'm showing her, like, I've been documenting this. It's not like I'm just coming up with it and saying, oh, I talked to so-and-so. I've asked you. I have filed grievances. Ants covering the floor constantly, 12 months out of the year. It's either fruit flies or it's ants. It's disgusting. And my mom, she eats like popcorn and stuff or whatever, and obviously it's going to spill all over. She has very little control over one hand. And so I mean, I'm not putting it all on them. My mom does cause a mess, but clean the shit up. Like, they're so rushed and understaffed, they get timed on how much time they're spending in a room. So I'm addressing my concerns with Sue, and I start asking her when somebody from this facility is going to stand up and be the change that America needs. Like, if daycares are required to have one adult to 8 kids, why are there one adult to 20 to 35 handicapped people. That's so unlogical. And so if my mom's a 2-person, so my mom requires 2 people to have her brief changed or to be put in her chair, taken out of her chair and put in bed. She's a 2-person. So if one person is responsible for 35 people, that's like 3 hallways in that building. So then you got to go pull the other person from the other end who's taking care of those people. So I'm addressing just like what I see and what I would like them to be the change. Go to your Senate, say this isn't working. We need better structure here and set up for protections of everybody involved, not just the residents, but the employees themselves. They're overworked and underpaid. So I'm pretty much giving my TED talk to Sue in the room. And my mom's going, yeah. So Sue, I tell her that I recorded the call with the nurse and asked her if she wanted to hear it. She said no. And so after my TED talk with her, she left the room. And then I left and went back to work. I would go see my mom usually on my lunch break every single day. And then I went back to work, and I work with children every single day, hundreds of them. So I couldn't answer my phone, but my phone started ringing. And it was nonstop. They didn't leave a message, but they kept calling. And it was the nursing home, but they didn't leave a message, so I didn't know who I was supposed to call. And I wanted to call Sue back anyway and remind her that when I filed these grievances with an employee who's no longer there, I did it with an employee present. And he lives right across the street from me. So I wanted her to know somebody else was there. So when she says she hasn't seen him, there was a witness. Like, this is.
Does he have a YouTube channel?
So as I call her to tell her, she's like, oh yeah, I was trying to call you because you said you.
Uh-oh. We have frozen.
She said, I think,
sorry.
She's like, when I called her, she's like, yeah, I was going to call you anyway. What you said, you recorded our nurse. You can't be doing that. And I go, I'm sorry to inform you, Michigan is a one-party state. As long as I'm a party to the conversation, I don't have to tell you I'm recording. And I'm not doing it.
Hold on one second. Hey, ATL, brother, I love you dearly. I do, with your chip-eating face. But listen, that thing is pinned at the top of the link. It's also in the description. And Judd has been dropping it about every 45 seconds like a mod god. I don't know why you keep saying post the link. It's right.
He just wanted to repeat himself.
There. It's everywhere I can think to put it. If you can think of another place to put it, let me know. But if you say drop the link, Judd's going to drop the link.
Drop there or there or there.
Yeah, it's there. It's everywhere. All right, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Crazy.
She's on the phone with me, and I tell her that I can legally record a conversation. I don't need no one's permission as long as I'm part of the conversation. And she didn't like that. She said it's illegal, and I said, I'm sorry to tell you, it's perfectly legal. I know my rights, and I hung up the phone. So part of what she tells the officer in this is right. I do know my rights, and that's what I told her. But she says I'm recording staff conversations. No, I'm recording my conversations with the staff. So
correct me if I'm wrong. You're in Georgia, right?
I'm in Michigan.
Okay. Your mother, the home itself is where?
In Michigan.
In Michigan. Okay. I'm not familiar with Michigan laws involving private property.
Oh, I am.
I know here there is very little that can be done. There ain't nothing they could do to stop you from going in there to see them, short of literally trespassing you from the facility. Yeah. And then
they can't hear either. They can't hear either. So long story short, she ended up hanging up on me. And then that pissed her off. And that was October 18. Okay. So October 18. Then all of a sudden I come visit mom every day. Her walls are getting fixed. And I kind of documented it a little bit because it was a botchy job. Like, who the fuck did they hire? Excuse my French. But I was like, wow, okay. Then they sprayed for ants. Like, and now all of a sudden they're doing. So I knew something was up. Everybody was like treating me different. And, you can tell when the vibe's off. So when I'm always smiling, I'm known as bubbly Brandy, like always smiling. I can be really fucking mad and I will be smiling. So it's just crazy. But I'm always nice to these people, and when they're not making eye contact no more, so I knew something was up. So I started preparing my mom. I go out, they're up to something. I'm not sure what it is yet, but something's going on, something's fishy. And then I Thursday, October 27, I think it was. She calls the police, and this is this video. She
Who
calls
calls the police? The
Sue, this lady
Sue.
Okay.
that I met with a week prior in my mom's room
Mhm.
and gave my TED talk to. And then she called and said, I can't record, blah, blah, blah. It's her. So when I told her I knew my rights, she waited a whole week after that conversation. Everybody in that place knows about my TikTok. Everybody knows about my Facebook. But she's hyper focused on my TikTok, I guess, because TikTok, it's all in one spot. And like Facebook, you know, you update daily, so it's not all in one spot. So
I've got a social media power moment for you. I didn't know this until like day before yesterday. Skunk Ape shows up a couple of days ago and he says, "Hey man, did you say something about the road down the road from Pops being messed up?" I said, "Yeah, I did a whole video on it. I did a short, got like, I don't know, 12,000 views or something. I don't know how many it got. I can't remember. 1,200 maybe. I can't remember. Got a bunch of views." He's like, "They just fixed it." And they come and knocked on the door and told Pops that his road was fixed and left. And I went, "No, that can't be right." Okay. All right. But flex, I guess. I don't know. Coincidence, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. It's certainly a thing.
So their employees are on my social media. A couple of their employees that are still there have been on my Facebook for over 10 years. Okay. Over 10 years. So they see everything. Everything that's on my TikTok has been posted on my Facebook. And TikTok during COVID, I made a TikTok and I went a year before COVID up to now. Like I didn't go, I wanted to show the year before COVID and what we dealt with, then during COVID, because not everybody knows what we went through with loved ones in a nursing home. It was horrific. We didn't see them. We weren't allowed to touch them. And we weren't, like I had to fight. Footage, right? I had to fight like how to get a video chatting device. Okay. So long story short here, October 27, my mom calls me and, she's like, "Brandy, I just had some visitors." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, who?" She's like, "2 police officers." And I go, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, they wanted to know about you." And I go, "About me?" I go, "Oh, now shit's really getting crazy. Like they are off their rocker. What? And so my mom's like, "Yeah, they were saying you're posting pictures of me and you're asking for money." And I go, "Mom, what?" So I go, "What? Wait, back up." I go, what happened?" I go, you what? And because I've never done that anywhere, like ask for money. Like, what are you talking about? So she's like, "Brandy, they showed me a picture and it had my picture on it and you're asking for money." So then it clicks that, okay, we're talking about my TikTok because it's my mom's picture on my TikTok. And but then underneath of it, it says raising awareness about guardianship. And then once one of my videos went like a little bit viral, they like sent me something and told me I had to add my Cash App. So I added my Cash App and I ended up like changing my name because I don't need my name out there. It was all not under my name. So I was just like, I don't want this here. So I changed my Cash App to abolish guardianship. And so, and it's pinned on my TikTok. I'm not savvy with like any of that monetary stuff. I don't know. I thought I got paid by my views, not because I'm asking money. So I put that on there. I don't know how it all works, but it's still there. I'm not doing anything wrong. So like, what the hell?
I'm of the opinion that if people are willing to give you money, take it.
Oh no, I'm not. No,
I'm just saying. I don't have a Cash App. I don't accept donations, but it's because of the nature of the show I do. I kind of have to have a certain amount of credulosity.
I only have Cash App because I'm a business owner. I'm a DJ. So that's how a lot of my clients pay me.
Credulity.
So that's the only reason I really have it. And then so there I do get paid by it, but not by internet people. So anyway, so I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, how can they say I'm asking for money? I'm like, oh wait, my Cash App is on my TikTok.
So who showed her this? Was it the staff at the nursing home, or was it
the
the
staff
police
at the nursing
officers?
home already knew my TikTok. They used to pass it around when I'd post videos. And
But I'm saying, who showed your mom?
Oh,
Do you
my
know
mom
who?
knew about it.
Oh, okay.
Like my mom and I would go TikTok live and shit. Like we are friends with a lot of people in a lot of similar circumstances, I guess you could say. So it like my mom loves it and we laugh.
Absolutely, ATL. If you can figure out how to get me $1 million, I would absolutely take it every time.
But yeah, so
and then
I
the
figure out
government
it's
take
my
1/3.
Cash App that she's talking about. So then I'm like, what? So I still don't know what's going on. Nobody's called me. The police never called me. So I start like getting eerie. Okay. So then, and I'm like, well, screw this. I go at the same time every day. So Friday morning, I get out of from I have like 3 shifts that I work at school. So, I get out of my morning shift and I'm like, let me go in now and not lunchtime. So I'm throwing them off because obviously something's going on. If they got the police were there yesterday, and why are the police questioning my mother? Like I had so many questions. So I get there Friday morning and there's a new sign-in process. We used to just have, since COVID, we've had to sign our name, get our temperature taken, and then answer the COVID questions. Well, now there's a kiosk. It scans your face and then you have to like stand in it. And so it'll scan your face and then tells you when it's done. And then you enter your name, your phone number, and then it wanted my address. And I'm not comfortable. Everybody's acting shady right now. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know if this is just for me being set up, because this is not, we weren't told anything that it was happening.
Right.
So I turn around and mind you, now they're all at the door, like looking at me, and I go, do I have to sign in on this or can I just go in? Because I'm not comfortable giving my address. It's my private information. And when you all know I'm reporting you all the time, that just doesn't make me feel comfortable. So,
You know what I've done? I'd have put my address down, and I'd have put my phone number down, and I'd have put my date of birth down, and I'd have put my real name down, and then I would have circled it and said for final entry, and I would have never done it again. I would have done it one time so they could contact me anytime they want to about anything they want to contact me about.
They want me to enter it, but then I just scan my face, I think, every time I come in after that. But I'm like, I ain't entering my address. I'm not comfortable with that. So she's like, Brandy, this is a private facility. If you don't like it, you can leave. And I said, okay. And I go, I would be reporting this too. So I said that and I left. And I immediately got on the phone with the police department and asked how that's legal. And they said, ma'am, it's not their jurisdiction or whatever. So then, bam, got right on the phone with the state of Michigan, the oversight agencies, and started making my complaints.
My point here, Russell, is that we're not doing any of that trash here. I'm in Georgia, and you pretty much just walk in wherever you want to walk in, and they might ask you if you want a mask, but typically there's not even none of that, none of it.
Yeah, we have to.
And that's start raving batty as far as I'm concerned, because it's not like there's a vast swath of dead people in the South.
Well, but my thing is, why are we wearing masks? Supposedly everybody's vaccinated now inside there. So like, I just don't get it. But
yeah, no, it makes no sense. It's an exercise of power and government overreach. They just want to execute their capability of controlling what you're doing.
Right. And so mind you, Friday when I'm there, she said, and Thursday the cops were there. Thursday I was there. And my mom's telling me about the cops. After she called me, I went up there. And mind you, they said nothing to me Thursday that I wasn't allowed there or there's an investigation, blah, blah, blah. Friday morning, I go and I tell them I'm not comfortable giving my address. They tell me it's private property. I can leave if I don't like it. So I leave. But they never said anything at that time either that they had concerns or I was being investigated. And that's it, like 9 a.m. Then at 5 p.m. that Friday, October 28th, I do believe it was. She calls me at 5 p.m. to tell me due to I think it was Amy that called me and not Sue, but I'm not 100%. But I recorded it, but didn't catch the name. But they'd say that due to an investigation, they're going to have to temporarily suspend my visitations with my mom. And I go, due to what investigation? And then they tell me that, well, it was brought, or it was made to their attention, and because it was in their attention now, is how she worded it. She wasn't even talking correctly, but she's like, now that it's in my attention, I have to report it. I had to do a reportable. You don't have the guardian's permission to be posting your mom's pictures on social media. And then I was like, she's like, it's considered something, and I go, no, it's not. Or exploitation, and I said, no, it's not. And then she said something else, and I was so pissed, I don't even really remember. I just go, I hope you all can sleep at night, and I hung up. And then so Monday comes.
So guardian, who's the guardian of your mom?
My 90-year-old evil grandmother.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I was in a car
accident
4 months before my mom got in her, so I was brain injured. I wasn't in any ability, way, shape, or form to step up at the time that was needed.
Wait a second. Your mom's mom is still alive?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you Faye? Like, how is that even possible? Are y'all magical or something?
I don't even know how it's logical to the courts, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So let me get this straight. Your mother's what, 65, what? How old is she?
3, my mom is.
Anyway, she's incapable of doing things for herself, so she's been put in a home. Has your grandmother been put in a home?
No, my grandma's my effed up family, but
Okay.
uncle
We
is
don't
like
need to get into all of that. That's not necessary. I'm not asking that type of personal stuff. It's not for here. But
No.
what I'm asking is this: is she still driving around and functioning like a normal person?
No, but I mean, she still drives very rarely, but
that is absolutely terrifying.
And that's why she refuses to move my mom, because this nursing home's like a mile from her home. So when my mom got beat up, it was like 3 days before COVID lockdown, my mom was severely beat up. So we weren't there to help her heal, help her manage everything. Like, they've had years to just brainwash
in
my
the
mom.
facility. She was beat up
twice in a year. Yeah.
Does anybody speak Spanish in chat? Because I think Dodia would love to know what we're talking about.
He's from Brazil.
Brazil, yeah. It would need to be Brazilian, Spanish, or Portuguese, I imagine.
So yeah, then long story short,
Friday
she calls me and says there's an investigation. And Monday I went to the police station and tried to get a copy of the report, and was given an unredacted report. And then found out there was body cam. So I put in my FOIA request for it. And that's how this all started. And I'm thankful that I did, because I had no idea what they're setting me up for.
Yes, you're definitely being angled for some lawfare. Like I said backstage before when we talked, they are going to attempt to literally what your title says, criminalize the fact that you wish to execute a small amount of authority over visiting your family. Now, I'm not sure what the laws regarding recording are in Wyoming. Wait, I'm sorry, Michigan.
No, the cops will say in this
I read
video,
Wyoming on the screen when I was talking.
No, the cops will tell her in this video that everything is perfectly legal, but then she starts saying it's against their policy. No, it's against the employee's policy. It's not against mine. Like, and she's never handed anybody a policy.
Policy is for employees. It's not for the public.
Correct. And
So
it's a private business, correct?
There's nothing posted, and that's the other thing. It's not private when your loved ones live there. This is their home. So immediate family has access 24/7 by law. They cannot.
That's where you're gonna get hemmed up at, though.
No, it's the law.
Okay, so they've attempted to trespass you from the facility, have so far done so.
Well, I don't know about that now.
So here's my question.
She says she don't know.
The attorney general called me today.
This video here is a conversation about the local sheriffs and cops attempting to trespass you. They literally walk you out. They do the whole thing. Hold on. I lost it because it ended. Nope. We're going to do that. Then we're going to do this. We're going to go there. We have to talk to you backstage after the show or sometime soon. We got to get together and put you together a playlist so that folks can just roll into your channel and watch it all. I love it. Yeah, nah. At the numbers you're throwing up right here, you might be monetized by the end of next week.
I don't want to be monetized.
I get what you're saying, but it's a measure of what you're doing, you know. But I'm just saying the numbers you're throwing out are absolutely absurd. And part of YouTube's push comes from their desire to make money. So if you're not making them money some kind of how, they don't really care about any of it. They'll just shadow ban you and move on. But the way you're going about it seems to be pretty working pretty well. We got a whole bunch of people in chat. Let's do that thing. No, I don't speak Portuguese at all. I mean, I understand a little bit of it and I can read a little bit of it. Wow, y'all have been chatty today. It's amazing.
I had to go buy cigarettes for this.
Did you make police reports when your mom got abused?
Okay, here's the funny part. I get there, mind you, nobody called me when it happened, and she called me about 9 hours later. And the police were not called until I demanded they call them. And then that state report, they failed to do everything correct. It was reported and it was founded, and they were fined. And that's my
fined for
a whole lot of things. That's all on my Facebook. I posted it. I don't know if I can get out of this chat.
Do you have her Facebook link, Caucasian?
I don't have it handy, but if you can drop it in the private chat over there.
There's all the state reports are public. It's public. You can look it up.
Right. What's your Facebook?
Brandy Davis Ritzema. But yeah, so you just got to scroll through my timeline. I posted a couple of the findings just from that report. So, but I saved not only my mom, but I think it was a total of 7 people altogether from harm.
I'm sorry, one more time. You said Brandy what?
Davis Ritzema.
I apologize.
Oh, you're fine.
Ritzema. Wow. I need a cool name.
Okay, spell it, because I'm trying and I just
R-I-T-S. Oh, Brandy is with 2 E's.
Oh, okay. And R-I-T or R-I-T?
R-I-T-S-E-M-A.
Oh, I just forgot the E.
Damn it, Lorenzo, you were supposed to have this together before the show.
But yeah, so I keep reporting them. And then she also says in the video you first started playing, she tells the cops that I've reported them like a number of 17 times or whatever, and all of them are unfounded. Oh, no, honey. Almost all of them were founded.
And how long ago was that? Just so people in chat can kind of get a timeline.
Those reports that I'm talking about right now are from an incident in 2020. And I want to say then COVID took effect. So it took longer to get the reports till they were.
But it happened in 2020.
Yeah.
And you said twice?
Yeah. Yep. So, and then they got it hit for a couple different areas, and then now my mom's in a room by herself because it's documented that they failed to protect her and the potential for more harm because they kept doing shit wrong. And that's my problem is vulnerable adults that are abused are left in these homes, and the homes are fine.
I noticed that.
But kids, they'll go and take on allegations.
Absolutely.
It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. You would figure people would try to be reasonable with the things that they do, but more and more, if people are in any situation of power, they try to extend that power as far as they can, whether they're a security guard, a nurse, a firefighter. I have a great story about a firefighter who decided that he was lieutenant chief or some crap decided he was some kind of heat big mess and started pulling folks over for speeding. It's weird. I got to go dig that one up.
If you YouTube daughter fights nursing home over traumatizing care, we were on the news in 2019 with state reports, and nothing was shown. Like everybody knows that I record. Like, this isn't anything new, so it's just mind blowing that this is the freaking shit they're pulling.
Which one would you rather play next? Illegally detained or after 3 of us tried the facility for 2 hours?
That one's real short.
Let's do the illegally detained one. It's always good. We'll just abbreviate it
It's
some.
just freaking nuts.
It is crazy. I watched the whole thing earlier.
But if we watch the first video, we'll hear her say that.
There we go.
The first video, when she's talking to the police, she says that she doesn't want me in the facility or seeing my mom. And then in this video, she's saying that she feels bad and she wants me to see my mom, but she's got to.
Uh-oh. Looks like we dropped out for a second. I wonder if she's getting a phone call when that happens or if it's a text or something. I know that here it's raining real hard. You back?
It's raining here too.
Yeah, it's coming down like crazy outside right now. I'm having to mute my mic because every now and then the rain gets so loud on the roof it starts flatlining it.
But yeah, in this video, I'm right here. I'm trying to tell the cops she's already called me on Halloween. She called me to tell me the investigation was over, but now I needed supervised visits and nothing was court ordered. You can't just tell me that I need to do something when Adult Protective Services, the courts, when nobody of authority has told me that I need supervised visits. Like, bitch, who are you?
What did she say the findings of the investigation
She
were?
didn't say anything. And
Nothing?
then that's the other thing. How are you doing an investigation and you're not even talking to me?
That doesn't make any sense.
Correct.
It's executive execution of power.
And
it has
so
nothing to
because
do
when
with
she
laws.
she had to wait because these cops said they were going to investigate my TikTok the first time she called them. And so when she found out that there was no crime being committed, they had to complete their investigation. She tried to weaponize the police to charge me with a crime based on
That's
her
exactly
lies.
what she did.
Based on her lies, though. Then she told him I'm a felon. I don't even have a misdemeanor. Like, what
Doesn't
are you
fall under
doing?
filing and false report and whatnot? Shouldn't that incur a certain amount of litigation behind it?
Nope.
If
I don't.
I'm sorry, Claiborne, I don't know what's up with your signal, man, but it's not good. It's not good. Hey, John Paul, welcome to the show, bud. Yeah, no. How? Okay, it's your mother's private residence, right? Basically, right?
Correct.
So you have access to your mother's private residence.
Correct.
Doesn't your mother have final say over who can come and see her?
No, because she has a guardian. So that, and like in the very first video, not this one, the very first minute that the police are in the room, she tells the police that she has a resident there that's not her own person. Bitch, what do you mean? My mom's her own person always.
Hey, John, you watch Netflix?
What?
Do you watch Netflix?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't there a show on Netflix about people abusing guardianship rights?
Yeah, actually, there's a few of them. It's called I Care a Lot.
I Care a Lot. That's the one I was thinking of. That woman is distilled evil. She is what happens to people who simply grub for money at any context. I'm sorry, that movie pissed me off. God, I hope she's frozen. There we go. If not, she's having a stroke. Okay, you're not having a stroke. That's good.
No, Julie Belchi, she did The Guardians, and that's on Amazon Prime, and I Care a Lot is kind of a spin-off of hers.
Right. It's absurd, the kind of stuff that they're pulling with some of these guardianship.
But it's true.
Papers. And it's absurd. 100%. There's no logical explanation beyond the simple cash grab of having more bodies in more beds. Like you said, overoccupied and understaffed. So
Yeah.
why not
Daughter in
shift some
Idaho
of the
spent 30
burden
days
to a
in jail.
different facility?
Yeah. A daughter in Idaho spent 30 days in jail for just going to visit her mom.
Batshit crazy, man. I hate that crap. That it drives me crazy when I hear stories like this. Because I mean, any small town on earth, anywhere you go, the local people kind of watch out for the local people, and so you have this one hand wiping the other hand type thing. You end up with this generational good old boys club where everybody knows everybody, and if you ain't in the club, you just ain't in the club. Jesus Christ. All right, y'all talk for a little while. It's freaking coming down so hard I can barely hear myself.
And the power to establish the word police. Sorry, I'm trying to get familiar with the terminology. Guardian, I mean.
Oh, I can give you all the statutes,
Oh
codes.
yeah, I got it, girl.
That's a good point. Samuel the Infamous is a genius. Y'all should really go check him out. My man has these weird, like, passing thoughts that border on the edge of genius. He just doesn't apply it to his daily life. I don't understand it. In a lot of cases, the staff are actually staffed by criminals. Have you looked into anyone's background that works up there?
Yes. One of the nurses, I don't know if she was taking medication or what, but she got to keep her job because they sent her to rehab.
I love rehab. It's so much fun. They have the best drugs in rehab. Hello, Forensics Mystics.
And that was before SKLD took over. So this was before, it was under different ownership when this took place, but she's still there.
Change of ownership doesn't change the structure, and generally doesn't change the infrastructure in the structure. So the system in place before the ownership change was probably just propagated forward through time.
Yeah. Well, no, it was due to actually once we were on the news in 2019, and I learned a lot from that. I got a lot of people inboxing me, and one of the ladies that was employed there reported them for the way they were treating my mother. And she reported them, and they fired her, and it went all the way to federal court, and she won.
The cop went home that day and told his wife, "Yeah, we arrested a daughter wanting to visit her dying mother." No fucking thanks. I would want that on my conscience.
I wouldn't say my mother is considered dying. My mother is just considered paralyzed.
I understand. He just, she's not out doing handsprings in the grass.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, hell, we're all dying. It's just a matter of time, honey.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, but no, like I said, he's got this weird peripheral genius that he doesn't seem to be able to apply directly to his own life. It's amazing. Let's go back and do the gold and silver and stuff. Let's do this. I tried to do it earlier, and Ajod interrupted me.
Whatever, because this is a big deal. I'm sorry. I was a caregiver, for 3 years, and oh man.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know their rights and know the laws. They just assume, and like they assume it's private. No, it's not. It's not.
All right. ATL transparency gets the gold.
Yeah. Immediate family has 24/7 access.
Strictly Strange gets the silver. MVTV gets the bronze. Welcome to the show, folks. We got Ryan Holzinger. Pretty sure it's Holzinger. We got Claiborne County Transparency. We got Joe. This one always throws me. Joco, Kansas Cop Watch. That guy right there. I may just have to stop reading it entirely and just poke it. We got Judd, the mod god himself. Hello, Judd. Welcome to the show. Russell Sperry showed up. It's good to see you. Shirley Z's in here. We've got Work Lion. Hi. Yep. That's the way that works. Keeps trying to jump to the bottom. We got Melissa Stedman coming through. Awesome. John DeNicola's come through. That's good to see. You can tell a channel's doing well if he shows up, sticks around for a little while. Crazy Hillbilly showed up. That's good to know. He does some stuff. Who else we got? We got ATL Transparency News. I think he got the gold. Strictly Strange is in the house. Awesome. Jody FJ. Is that right? Yeah, FJ. That's the one. That guy right there. He showed up. There was another guy, Axioms Underground. Is that Axioms Revolt's new channel,
Yes.
or did he change his name?
He changed his name.
Okay. The
Or new
Divine
channel. I
Sorcerer
don't know.
showed
It's
up.
him.
Good to see you, bud. Let's see. Truth Be Told has come in. Awesome. It's a brother of the show. It's kind of like being Eskimo brothers, but we was just on the same camera. That's all. We got Snark and Sass. Booby. Samuel the Infamous. Good to see you, bud. I think that just about does it, other than our Portuguese fellow from Brazil. I guess he would be Brazilian, wouldn't he? Yes, this dude. He's from Brazil. Apparently, he subscribed while he was here, and I appreciate it. Maybe he can translate it for later. I don't know.
What's the name of the facility again? If you don't mind me asking.
I really don't want to
Okay.
I don't want to repeat it just because some guy posted, he called that's not the point of me posting these videos, to have their phones blown up. That takes away from the care, especially from the care of my mother. And it's really irritating when they're already short staffed, and then staff is having to run to a phone, and then it's just disheartening. So it's like people obviously aren't getting it, and it's making me question everything.
That you're doing?
Yeah, just I'm not really even trying to like get the police in trouble. I feel the police were weaponized in all of this. Like I don't feel that they were doing their jobs well, but at the same time, if after being called there 4 times and there's a history with my name involved, the cops are going in, with what they're given. So it's like it's a catch-22. I feel for both sides.
Somebody has made a decision to try to use the system against you, and that individual should be identified. And if you can unravel that issue there, I bet a lot of this would come apart. Hello, unindoctrinated. Good to see you, bud. Bigfoot Anon. Hey, dude, I found Void Cat. I'm going to do a review of it later. It's going to be glorious. I've already seen it, unfortunately. Oh, yeah. AJOT has not seen it, and I would use her like a clout weapon. Weaponized clout. Awesome. All right, hold up. We got another one over here. There's one more I wanted to show. I want to do a reactionary thing with it later. On the right. Welcome to Sasquatch Shills, where the technical issues are part of the show.
Hello?
Welcome back.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Oh, no. Oh, it did it. That was Wolfie. I saw him. Oh, Wolfie. I'm so glad you showed up. Right? I just missed like half the chat. What's up, Carrie? Good to see you, brother. Smoking Auditor. Good to see you. Yeah, you came back from dinner. I really wish I could speak Portuguese for you, bud. Can't do it. Sorry. Maybe I'll try to polish up on some of it. I doubt it. Might syndicate there. That would work. Same difference. All right. So we got about 4 minutes left on the whole show bit. Is there anything in specific you'd like to deliver to the masses of 21 people that are currently watching?
Yeah, we need to start creating change.
There you go.
Whoa. We need to start creating a change for our tomorrow and for our elderly, the people that depend on us most, who should be cherished the most and valued for the legacies that they leave behind. It's all being diminished and demolished and devalued, and it's sick.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Hey, Jot, you got anything you want to tell everybody? Consider this the end of the episode, but we're just going to play out and then pop right back in.
No.
Want to try again later? Maybe it'll come to you.
Maybe.
So we're going to do this for a second. All right, baby, check it out. What happens now is something I call after dark. I'm going to drop the link in the chat, pin it. Several people will come up. If you want to stick around and talk to them, you can. You're perfectly welcome. And any future After Dark that pops up, if you like the topic or you like the folks involved, you can show up and come in and you'll get a link. I got your email and stuff. That kind of stuff, you know, updates for the channel, questions about StreamYard, technical stuff, sound, whatever. So yeah, I appreciate you coming. It's been awesome.
No,
It's
thank you. Thank you for helping me
Yes, ma'am.
get the word out that things are alarming and going on, and the people are being weaponized by corporate America.
Basically, you're correct. That is exactly what's taking place. The laws are being used against the citizens to try to monetize the citizens for revenue for the state. But we'll get into more of that after this. I'm gonna drop you backstage. I'm gonna drop A-Jop backstage. I'm gonna do a little Mr. Rogers type talk out. We'll be right back with you in about 3 minutes. All right.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ready, A-Jop? Bye. All right. I appreciate y'all coming in and watching my little show, Sasquatch Shills. It's absolutely the greatest thing I've ever managed to put together myself. Let me turn that off. And I'm going to do this, but we're not going anywhere. So don't you go nowhere.
Sorry. Good news, though. We're going to have to move the party somewhere a little bit more private, but you're all invited. Lorenzo will give you the details. Yeah!
Just getting started. I know that you want it, baby. Just get on it, ready to go.